We are here for round 8 of our Whoop UCI Mountain Bike World Series and round 4 of our UCI Downhill World Cup racing action. We're here in Val di Sole, Trentino, Italy. It's going to be an iconic race. As always, the Black Snake delivers a fantastic venue here in the Trentino region. My name is Josh Carlson. I'll be joining you here today in replace of our unfortunately sick main man, Rick McLaughlin. It's going to be a fantastic day of racing, and we're going to kick off with our Downhill Junior Finals, an iconic venue that has been on the circuit since 2008. We had our first ever Mountain Bike World Championships here in Val di Sole, and as of 2009, we've been here almost every year since. This iconic venue has provided so much racing action and spectacular scenes, and 2024 is going to be no different. Slightly cloudy out there, as you can see. There's a bit of mist about, there's a bit of rain about, and we've had a turbulent week of weather, to say the very least. What started off dry has turned into a bit of a diabolical scenario up on the track here today. This week, it's an ever-changing course, it's a rough course, it's extremely technical, and as you can see from the snow-capped mountains, there's a lot going on in the hillside there. And speaking of a lot going on today, our schedule looks a little like this. 11:30, we've got our Downhill Women's Junior Final, quickly followed by our Downhill Men's Junior Final action. And then later this afternoon, our elites kick into gear with our Downhill Women's Elite Final at 1:15. And our Elite Men's are trackside come 2 p.m. CET for our Downhill Men's Elite Final. Fans are starting to roll in. Always provide some fantastic action and spectacles here. Some of the brightest young talents we've got on our circuit right now is the Alran brothers. Max came to the top step last weekend, and Leo Gang with a spectacular run of patience, maturity seen beyond his years. He's one of the brightest young stars we have, and 2 of them are together. So we're going to go and catch up with them right now.
So my name is Max Alran.
My name is still Alran. My brother.
We live in France, in the south of France, in Rougen.
In riding for Commencal Mekov.
We start from our big brother, like we have another brother, so we follow him, and now we're racing in World Cup, so yeah. He has a more fast style than me. I prefer jumps than him, I think. He's more good on the steep parts than me, I think. He's more aggressive than me, so if I have the same aggressivity than him, I think I can be a better rider. We have so much support, like with Commencal Mekov team, with Tibbs and Gaetan on the track. We can speak about lines with Amaury, Dylan and Miriam. Then with the mechanics, it's so good. Like we go to the pit and we have nothing to do, just think about the track and the lines. Like compared to the last year, like this one has more support and yeah, it's better now. This year it's a learning year, so we try to keep the most good part of the year, but we always try to win. But that's the first year in junior, so we try to take experience, and it's not the result that counts, but we always try to win.
Here for a good time indeed. 2 of the fastest young talents we have on the circuit right now, and brothers to boot, is incredible to see. We cannot wait to see them develop and back in action later this afternoon, especially after Max's win in Leogang last weekend. Earlier in the week, we were able to head up on course to check it out. before the rain came. So it's a slightly different scenario now, but to have a look at this Val di Sole Black Snake course up in person on foot was an amazing scenario. We got to see a couple of different changes, a couple of different line selections. Let's go and have a look at the brand new edition of the 2024 Black Snake course now.
Trendsetters, the one and only Black Snake here in Val di Sole, Italy, an iconic track of the World Cup circuit and a gnarly one, that is for sure. We've seen plenty of variations over the years. This year is no different. One thing's for sure, it is as physical and gnarly as it gets. Let's go and have a look right now. And what I've already noticed, a couple of small modifications of the famous course here has created a bunch of different line choice. Now up here, this section here was reasonably straight last year, and now it's a bit more chicaney, which is going to change the momentum that riders can carry through these big pitter-patter rocks. There's a bunch of different lily pads here. There's a certain rhythm you can carry through this section, which is crucial for the rest of the track. But remember, we're barely 45 seconds in. The first timing sector is just over my right shoulder, and we are into the thick of it right now. As riders are fed over the bridge, we've seen riders take a breath, shake their hands out before, but they come into this section here. Now this bad boy, this one route has caused havoc with riders' runs before, tucking their front end, slipping out into this one gnarly section. Now right here, there's not too many line choices. There is a low line, riders right, which ideally you will not be on. You want to be on the inside here. Feed it down, there's a low line and there's a high. The low line may very well disappear, which is where our riders and our team's managers and spotters will come in handy, which is crucial considering how gnarly the next part of this track gets. From the single line and the obvious choice to one of yet another line selection. There's an obvious line around the outside here, but if you set up early and you're prepared, there's going to be a developing inside line. You can come down along the inside here, stay high, get straight into that berm, whoppa, and you're away. Corner speed and exit speed is key. Now, while that corner is somewhat chill and smooth, the entrance into it is definitely not. You must choose the right line to come in here. Do you go on the inside, which is somewhat of an easier entrance, or do you come out wide here? The routes are bigger, the lines are gnarlier, there's more risk, but you will carry more exit speed out of this corner. This corner feeds these next 2, 3, 4 corners into the highest speed section of our course here. I'm 6'1". This thing must be 12, 15 feet. Drop down to the backside of this rock, the backside over here, or land in this pocket before we get to the finish. It's not over. We've seen so much drama in years past in this very final corner. As always, the Black Snake delivers with a feisty course here for round 4 of our UCI Downhill World Cup. It's all guts and all glory to the finish to the adoring Italian crowd.
As you could see, conditions were much drier earlier in the week. The local legends are up on course right now, making sure that our downhill track is in prime conditions for our finals this afternoon. They've been working tirelessly morning, during the race, during the runs, and in the afternoon to make sure the ruts are safe, the holes are filled back in, and some of the developing springs that the riders have uncovered are clear and ready to go. Let's take a look at our course here today. We have 2.1 kilometres in length for the Black Snake course in Val di Sole, Trentino. Just over 550 metres of vertical drop, and we started at altitude just above 1,300 vertical metres, so altitude shouldn't come into play, but it is a factor in this year's course. As always, split time 1 to split time 2 will be one of our key sections. The GoPro stones straight down into the Oakley Prism rock garden, which has wreaked havoc on our riders' runs all week. The Michelin full speed zone feeds us all the way to the bottom before we hit the Pippo jump into the finish arena to wrap up our course. Wrap up the Black Snake course. It's been on the circuit for a long, long time. We've had some extraordinary performances and race runs put together. And no doubt this year will be no different. You can see riders warming up at the top of the hill already. We had a chance to head out on track and get some footage from some of our riders and see it from the very, very first hand. Joe Breeden is going to be on track for our GoPro course preview today, and he's going to be following the one and only Dakota Norton. So Joe has been on a great run of form and confidence the last couple of rounds. He had a huge ejection last year over the final whoop corner, so hopefully we don't see that this year. But right now we're going to jump on board with Joe Breeden and Dakota Norton to see what this track looks like firsthand.
Let's get it. I very much hope this GoPro is recording, because the beeps must be turned off. I didn't hear anything, but we're in now. So it is World Cup 4 at Val di Sole, probably one of the gnarliest and one of my favourite tracks of the year. Oh. Myself, Joe Breeden from Intense Patch Racing, following, as always, Dakota Norton. I'm going to go low and try and show you what the line options are here. So it's definitely a long way around. Oh. We had so much rain last night. It was incredible. But seems to have taken it well. It's not deathly, just slippy. And again, he's gone to the outside. The famous rock garden. Always a few lines. Oh, and lots of roots on the backside of that. Oh no, where are we going? And now we head, whoa, into another steep section. Again with different lines. Oh my, whoa! Real gnarly. I do not feel like a hero right now. Where's he going? What was that? Never seen that line in the whole of Val di Sole, but seemed pretty good from Dakota there. So we're into the final section. Always really cooked physically by this point. Hard to hold on. Legs are pumped up, but you still got to deal with some of the most technical and steeper sections, and particularly this pretty savage drop. Oh, little bub whip, and that's the finish to your 2024 World Cup 4 Val di Sole course preview. That was rowdy.
Rowdy indeed, and you can visibly see how much different the track conditions already were that day from the Carlson course preview we did earlier. So it's gotten even worse since then, and right now it's looking to be a little wet outside. Those roots might be a little bit more spicy, but all things nicey. Crowd is building up on the hill. One thing that is for sure, the Italian fans love a bit of downhill racing, especially on this Black Snake course. They've been up there early. They've got their spots set. Let's take a look at our downhill junior women's standings. Heather Wilson leads over Erice Van Leuven. Eliana Hulsebosch is in third place. Sacha Earnest in fourth. Matilda Melton is out the top five. Amelia Dudek is in 12th. And 13th place is Nelly Abach from Norway. So Amelia Dudek will be first on track here today. She'll be our first junior woman out on course. Eager to get stuck into this physically demanding, this technically demanding track. It's a wild one out there, but I'll be looking forward to it. Today I'll be joined by the one and only Shiana Hearn, the three-time Australian downhill national champion. Sian, welcome, mate. Thank you very much for joining me.
So sick to be here. Thanks for having me.
Oh, you're very welcome. But it is a bummer to see you here at an unfortunate mechanical and qualification, which kept you out of the semi-finals yesterday.
Yeah, definitely. Just about a quarter of the way down, I broke a spoke, flattered, and the run was over pretty quickly. So just rolled down and enjoyed my final run down Val di Sole for the weekend.
All right, up first on track today, we've got Amelia Dudek, then Clarissa Carzolio, the Italian, Maxima Jaax, Kale Cushman, Ella Svegby, Heather Wilson is back on track here. Number 1 seed, Teagan Heap, Erice Van Leuven, Sacha Earnest, and Eliana Hulsebosch will be our last junior women down the hill. Heather Wilson leads. And last weekend in Leogang was the first time we saw her off the top step of the podium, which is incredible. She's come off a 50-win streak all the way back to when she was in the under-10s, Sean, which is crazy. So in the start hut right now, we've got Amelia Dudek lining up. As you can see, there's a bit of mist at the top there, so there will be a slight layer of grease and slime across our routes. So Amelia's out of the start gate here, ready to go all the way from Poland. She enjoyed her home race in Bielsko-Biala. Sean, it's a bit of a, I don't want to say easy, but a sedate start considering how gnarly this track is.
Oh, definitely. And I mean, these first top turns are actually already insane. Like, these ruts are almost pedal deep at this point. So, yeah, the track is no easy start, to be honest. And those turns are a very key section of the track, actually.
And you have to start with a certain level of patience, or, I mean, we see so many riders that come into here trying to stay calm, because we heard Joe talk about it in the GoPro course preview, how hard it is to be charging at this bottom section of track. For
sure. I think you've got to start pretty aggressive these days straight out the gate, and then, yeah, find your little points where you can have a breather, rest the hands, and then it's all go from there.
One of the first line selections we see Amelia taking the outside line there. Did you prefer the inside this week or the outside? What was your favourite?
The outside was actually quite smooth. Where Amelia went there, it was actually quite consistent, I think, and that was key on this track for sure.
And she's making her way down, carrying some good momentum through that upper section here. She comes up to the first timing split. For the first timing split, we'll be able to see who controls the level of patience from the upper section.
She's definitely riding super smooth, which is good. Definitely key on this track today.
I mean, it must be so hard to ride calm when it's so physical and so demanding.
Yeah, it's tough on the whole body, and I mean, even today I woke up and my whole body's quite sore, so everyone's doing amazing just getting down the track at this rate.
Yeah, she navigates her way down the hill here. Now, as we step into the steepest and deepest part of our Val di Sole track, the conditions, as you can see, have been so wild and developing all week. Even these flat sections in between have held so much moisture, which zaps so much speed and momentum out of our riders.
Definitely feels like you're fighting the whole way down the track. There's not a moment where you're just in control, I think. And like, yeah, as you can see, Amelia's like slightly offline some of the times here, and that's definitely how you lose a little bit of speed the whole way down.
Where can you take a rest on this track? I mean, it's barely minimal, but there must be an opportunity just to have a breath and be like, whoa.
Yeah, I think where the bridge was, just above where Amelia was then, that's definitely one place that you can have a bit of a moment to have a breath and, you know, kind of brace yourself for the next upcoming bit of track. And honestly, that's pretty much it. There's one other bit further down just here where you can have a moment, but yeah, you've got to still be so precise on where your line is.
You can see our second timing split there as she navigates the upper section. Now, as we drop into our Oakley Prism section, this is where it starts to get real wild, really fast. A couple of different variations in course this year. They've created a new bus stop section, so instead of it going directly straight through the rock garden, as we're about to see, we're going to see a brand new bit here, which has unfortunately uncovered a natural spring in the hillside.
This was definitely claiming a lot of riders all week. I think I had a crash there as well, actually. But yeah, it was definitely tricky to start the week, and we were all trying to puzzle over where to go and how to get through it cleanly.
And how did you navigate that? Are you looking for a good exit speed? Have you just got to survive it? Are you trying to anticipate? Oh, look at the size of all them routes.
Yeah, definitely that bus stop feature was definitely tricky. They actually cut out a route, which made it a lot better for us because, you know, you couldn't actually get through it very easily without washing the front. So, yeah, it was a matter of just trying to get through that section for most of practice.
Amelia is navigating that gnarly section with ease at the moment, so extremely impressive feat for our junior women to not only navigate this course, but race down it and charge the entire way. There's a massive giant step down there, which has seen a huge evolution over the years. So it gets rougher and rockier. Now, it's not many lines in this lower section, Sean, as there is at the top here.
No, I find the bottom section actually just holding on for your life almost. You're pretty tired at that point. And, yeah, I mean, there's pretty much one main line as you come. Like, there's two lines here, I guess. You could kind of go in between some of the trees. But, yeah, as opposed to from pretty much now onwards, it's one line. Just get through as fast as you can, really.
And our final Michi corner here. She's almost approaching our final sector. It's been a nice smooth run from Amelia so far. Now she is first on track, so she will set our fastest time to beat today. We're eager to see what the remaining 9 junior women can do out on course here today. What do you feel right now, Sean? I mean, everything must be on fire at this point.
Yeah, I feel like when you get to this point, you're just gasping for air, I think, and your arms are barely hanging on. You kind of, once you head off that Val di Sole drop right at the bottom, you're just hoping that your hands are strong enough to hold on and not blow off, and then you've got this fast turn, and then you just sprint to the finish and hope for the best.
Sprint to the finish and hope for the best. That's right, the Pippo jump back into the Val di Sole arena as you see her emerge from the trees. The massive step down drop there. Pay attention to the numbers on the side to see how far our riders launch into the finish arena. She's got one corner to go. She's going to sprint all the way over the finish line. The huge Val di Sole tabletop jump to finish. Awesome. Amelia's going to set our fastest time so far. Our first time of the day. She's stoked on that one.
Stoked to probably just make it down in one piece. She's alive.
Oh, big love. Amelia Dudek. All right. Warms up the hot seat. Hopefully she can stay there as our Italian drops in here. Clarissa Carzolio, number 12. You can hear the fans and hear the crowd already.
She's on the pedals.
Ecstatic to see the Italian on course. She's already, we're just going to cut back into her run, and she is 12 seconds up as she enters the finish arena down here. So the crowd at the bottom of the hill is going to go wild at the young Italian sprinting across the line.
You can see her style. She's so much more aggressive as well, so you can see where that 12 seconds has come from.
Yeah, and her split times have just grown, every single one there. So that means Clarissa takes the hot seat from Amelia. She comes down with a 5:06, the brand new time to beat. Big smile on the face. She looks happy with that one.
Nothing beats a home race, hey?
Nothing beats a home race. And Maxima Jaax on track. The German, number 16.
On the YT. Look at her go.
On the YT, that's right, Shana Hearn. You're riding for the YT mob, so you'd be intimately aware of how this bike performs
Definitely.
on a track like this.
Oh, no! Oh. She washed in the turn. Hopefully that doesn't lose too much time for her.
Yeah, that's right, navigating way down. Almost lost it there. Now, that must be so hard to navigate that final corner. It's already steep, and then right now, this huge step down when your arms are blowing and you're already pumped up. Braking bumps galore. What can Maxima do for us as she comes across the line? She's got a big sprint to go. Putting that YT bike to good use all the way across the final jump. She's slightly back from young Clarissa, but she goes into second. Maxima Jaax goes into second. We get stuck on my words here. So it's a solid time there. Kale Cushman, the American junior champion from the Gravity Collective, is now on track. Step down, the chainsaws are getting warmed up and ready to go. She's already into the finish arena over the Pippo jump. She's got a 6.9 second lead over Clarissa. So has Kale done enough to hold this on all the way to the finish? Has she had a clean final split to the day? She's been incrementally getting faster and faster every split. Oh, a little whip to finish. So Kale comes across the line. She takes 7.6 seconds out of Clarissa and claims the hot seat for the young American. Wow, so time's getting faster and riders getting more aggressive out on course here. We'll be able to see a little bit more of our race action as we get to our fastest few seeds. So Elice Svegby from Sweden on track. Now these ruts at the early part of the track here, Shana, are only getting deeper and deeper.
Yeah, and it's like trying to pick, like there's a few little options, I guess. Some people you'll see might be going outside them or inside them, and you know, it's still just tricky, and I feel like you've just got to be really smart on where you put your tyres.
Whoa! Oh no!
She's down. Oh,
she's had a hugie. We were just about to say how much time she has made up. She does have a 14.2 second lead.
Wow, if she keeps going, she could still hold that. You never know. It wasn't too long.
Oh,
she's running the bullet.
Hold on. She's got that aerodynamic advantage already. Oh. She was 14.2 seconds up. Let's see where this went wrong here. She's got a bit of a huckabuck coming in. Oh, she just got offline on that massive tree stump.
I think she outrun the turn because you're actually supposed to be quite a lot more right than that, so she must have come offline a little bit further up than that.
Oh, she had a huge amount of time up her sleeve. So she might have been able to make it up, and she has. She has dropped some time, but she's still 5.2 up into the final sector. She's obviously okay, which is great to see. That was a massive slam, but the adrenaline is going to keep her going across the line here. Ella Svegby, what can she do? In dramatic fashion, she's got a 5.2 lead as she enters the Pipo jump on the Val di Sole Arena. Off the step down.
I saw her in practice actually through the week, and she was really one of the smoother girls as well, which was really cool. Like, she was getting down quite smooth.
She definitely got down smooth and obviously fast today. She's sprinting across the line. Oh, she's got time for a little whip across the line there. Did she extend her lead? Only just, but she has done enough to claim the hot seat with a huge slam into the woods.
It always proves never to give up on tracks like this, because you never know what happens to everyone else, and it's so sick to see that she just kept going.
So sick to see. Well done. So Ella is our brand new hot seat sitter today. Teagan Heap, another young American on course.
She's looking strong.
So we've just heard that Heather Wilson, our #1 seed, was a non-starter today. So our overall series leader is not on course today. So obviously had a bit of an issue this morning in practice. It's devastating. Hopefully she's okay. So Teagan Heap is now on track. She's got 2.8 seconds to make up after the first split. So we'll see what she can do in this lower section here. The main sections of track here today. She comes across the bridge. That one of the only couple of sections to have a rest.
She's looking tired now. When you get to this point already, you've just already had so much track. It's crazy.
And that adrenaline spike, Sean, from the top part of the race. I mean, to get to this point, it must be so difficult to just calm the farm a little bit right now.
Definitely. Off that drop is awful. It's such big holes there, and you just land and just hold your body as tight as you can so you don't bottom yourself out.
And with so many runs during the week, is that something you factor in? Like how many practice runs you do compared to the physical load of doing so much riding? That must be a factor. Whoa, she almost knocked the front there.
Yeah, I remember last year I actually did a lot more runs, but yeah, I think this year I just had to save a bit more energy. I feel like you're just so tired, and the risk is quite high on this track, so it's being smart and finding that limit of how many runs to do.
So we didn't get to see Ella through this upper section, but she obviously made up a huge amount of time. She was 12 seconds up by this split 3 before we saw that massive crash down the bottom. She gets into the Oakley Rock Garden here in this brand new Motul section.
This whole part of the track didn't dry out much through the week, so it's still so slippery, all those routes. So they're doing...
It still looks so slippery now, but that is visibly drier than what we've seen the last couple of days.
Truly.
Into... massive G out.
No.
Oh, go on. Carry on, Teagan.
Stall there.
Do you think there could be a little bit of arm pump sneaking in, bit of pressure, bit of stress in those arms?
And as you get tireder, you ride stiffer and stiffer, and that's pretty natural on this track, but it definitely doesn't help the way you feel on the bike and how you're riding. So it's key to try and stay as relaxed as possible, but one thing easier said than done.
Way easier said than done. So we're eager to wait this split time 3 as she comes into that giant step down here to see what she's made up any time. She did have a couple of small little mistakes there. She was 7.3 back from Ella. And now she has lost a little bit more time. She's 14.5 back. But remember, Ella was 12 seconds up at this point. So this may very well be good enough to ride into second place for the moment. Cowbells, chainsaws and screams. Oh my, we'd love to see it, love to hear it. Make our way down through this rooted section here. Now, this bit is quite dry, Sean, but with your body being so on fire right now, so difficult to navigate.
Definitely, yeah. And those roots, they have just a... Oh, no!
Spoke too soon. No. Teagan's had a hugie in that one of the final corners. Hopefully she's okay. She can resettle herself.
As your arms get tired, it's so easy to fold into your bike. As you can see, she just could not seem to hold the bike there, and that'll happen to a lot of people this weekend.
Just got hucked a little bit far forward there, and the load on the arms just couldn't quite handle it through the corner. One young woman who can handle the pressure and is looking forward to this track is Erice Van Leuven. Our 2023 world champion is on track right now.
Erice is such a powerful rider. You see her on track and practice, and she's like a little pocket rocket.
She is a pocket rocket. She's got that low style, little bit of swagger off those early jumps. We'll see what she can do.
No. Oh, good save.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, wow.
Erice is charging visibly, riding the limit as she comes down through some of the most key sections here. Now, she is slightly back. Have we seen a mistake from her in the early sections that we haven't seen on camera? She's 3.1 back at split 2.
She's charging, though.
She was charging, all right. Almost charged right out the front door, but she's back on. She's going to regain her composure. She's through the step down. She's had 4 World Cup wins to her name. She's our 2023 defending world champion. So we'll see what she can do in this lower part of the section. Slightly losing a little bit more time. So Ella has pulled out something magical in the upper part of our track here. It's amazing how our eyes are now drawn to that one tree stump that brought Ella undone. Erice carrying some great speed in this lower section here. So that inside line seeming to favour majority of our riders into that Michelin corner there. She's got a couple to go. She's 4.7 back. She's still in. That's good enough for second place right now. She's still maintaining good speed in the lower rock gardens and lower routes. She needs to hold it together, and look at that. She has made up some time. So that rowdy riding that we did see has pulled back close to 9 seconds in that sector where Ella had a hugie. So Erice is back on the gas here. She's taken advantage of that mistake from Ella. She comes into the Pippo jump over the Val di Sole drop. Erice Van Leuven, your world champion, has now taken 5.7 seconds out of our current hot seat leader. Can she hold it onto the line? Grabs a couple of gears, pedal, pedal, pedal. Erice Van Leuven, your world champion across the line. Will she claim the hot seat? And she does. With a 6.1 seconds over Ella Svegby, Erice Van Leuven is your brand new hot seat leader. Such a strong ride. That was impressive. Now, speaking of impressive, Sacha Earnest, another Kiwi talented rider on track here. Sean, there is some incredible talent coming out of New Zealand right now, especially in the junior women's ranks. How good is that to see?
Oh, it's so sick, and they have such great riding there in New Zealand, and I think they're all pretty sick bunch of girls, and they just love riding their bike, and it really shows with their racing.
And having so many young riders from the same country, it must just fuel that, right? Like you're all fighting for the same spot, you're all hanging out together, talking the same language.
For sure, and I think as well you're all just pushing each other because you all want to be on top of that top step. So it's, you know, it's really healthy competition to have to push riders from your country.
Now Sacha so far in this upper sector is looking fantastic, carrying some great speed, went for the low line around the trees here.
Super smooth through there.
Super smooth through here.
She's looking very strong on track actually. Insane.
Sacha Earnest, solid in the upper section. She's 2.3 up on Erice Van Leuven so far. So what we're seeing is translating into some fantastic times already. Now it only gets steeper, it only gets wilder and looser as we go. As we cut to Erice before, she was definitely getting a little bit buck wild through the biggest route section on the course. So what can Sacha do? She's got the early lead. Oh, through some of them massive steps. So some of those holes are close to foot peg deep.
Yeah, it's so slippery through that section. Doesn't look as slippery as it really feels when you're riding.
What are you thinking going through there, Shani? You just trying to hold on? Are you trying to anticipate?
Yeah, definitely holding on because you just want to let your bike go as much as possible because you have extra grip.
You're not going to let go, are you?
No.
You're not going to let go, but you have to let go, if that makes total sense.
Yep. Yeah.
How do you do that? When your arms are pumped and you're so focused, what do you try and breathe?
Consciously letting your brakes off and getting back on your bike as much as possible and just letting your bike charge down the hill a little bit more. And I think then you stay a bit more relaxed for sure.
You're paying attention to your feet, where your heels are, where your hands are, where your brakes are, what gear you're in, what you're looking at, where you're pointing. Whew. There's so many things going on in our young athletes' heads here today. So we're about to approach our split 2 timing sector. We're eager to see what Sacha Earnest has in store for her. She was 2.3 up already. She's looking fantastic on track right now. She's got 2.7, so she's slightly increased that lead. She's 2.7 up on Erice right now. Will we see another Kiwi lockout of the podium? Making her way down through some of the steepest parts of our track. This has claimed more than one rider this week and just wreaked havoc through the pits and the field. It's definitely significantly drier than it's been before.
That was super clean through there as well.
What are you favouring, Sean? That left inside line or the right massive hop? I mean, that right hop.
I did the hop actually. I preferred it. Yeah, I just felt like you didn't have to turn as much in, and I think you carry so much more speed out as well. So, and it's a more straighter line from that new grass section. You just go straight through. So, it is a hard hole, and you're kind of on the verge of running off track, which I think it did claim a few people yesterday. So we see our hot seat now eagerly watching Sacha Earnest come down the hill. Erice Van Leuven in the hot seat there, followed by Svegby and Teagan Heap. 1, 2, 3. Into the speed trap.
She's 3.1 up, so she has increased the lead by 0.4 of a second. She's gradually getting faster, but it's not over yet. There's plenty more left in this Black Snake course. Sacha is looking composed and calm as she navigates this course with somewhat ease. Look at the precision through the roots, just maintaining good speed through there, making sure she misses all those sideways roots. A little bit wider. Whoa! Hold on to it, Leroy! A little bit wider into that final corner. Carried a bit of extra exit speed out. Could that be a sign of things starting to get a little bit tight, a little bit heated up there, Sean?
I think it has, like, honestly, the track looks a lot drier from yesterday, which is crazy. I think it looks very rainy outside, but it's just holding off, so we'll see what the weather does for the day.
Keep everything crossed. Sacha Earnest is on one here, split 4. She's 3.2 up. She's got another 100th. She's gradually getting faster and faster as she enters the Pipo jump through the Val di Sole sign here. She's got one massive step down to go. Hold on. Right now, those hand grips feels like she's holding on to toilet rolls. She's got one corner to go. She navigates the Sam Hill flat turn with ease. Is this going to put her into the hot seat here today? Sacha Earnest from the Trek Factory Racing Gravity team. She puts 4.5 seconds into Erice to claim the hot seat here today.
Super strong ride from today.
Sacha Earnest, sorry. Sacha's claimed the hot seat. So here we go. Our number 1 seed for today, Eliana Hulsebosch. She put in a wild ride last week in Leogang to hold on to a podium. Whoa, she's almost off the front from the gun.
I know Ellie really wants this one, and yeah, we call her Ellie Who's the Boss. So.
Ellie Who's the Boss, we're about to find out today. Eliana, we saw her in practice earlier today trying to suss some of her lines. She changed it up a little bit. She's come out of the gate hot and in a hurry. She's got to regain her composure and calm the farm before we step into the woods here.
She's such a strong rider, and you can see it like on track. She's just got so much power behind her riding. It's, yeah, incredible. Super aggressive.
So we saw Sacha come down. She went this outside line here and she gradually built her speed the whole way down. Svegby still has the fastest Sector 2 and Sector 3. What has Eliana, who's the boss, got for her? Charging.
Wow.
Look at the crowd. The crowd's into it. They know something special is in front of them right now. She's 0.6 back from Sacha. There's nothing in this. Nothing in this at all. 0.6 on a track like this can be any single moment. We saw Erice get a little bit buck wild in that massive root garden. Sacha held it together and showed the calm, cool, collected composure we've seen from her in years past. Oh no! Eliana! She almost touched the front in that section there. Almost slides the front wheel out, but she held onto it.
You can really see she's pushing, and that's, you know, that's where you find the limit of mistakes. So.
She's pushing hard. She wants this. She's within touch here. Gets on the pedals. Slight chance for reprieve over the bridge. Wow. So what has she got for us here? We're getting ready for the second split. We saw a slight mistake there. Was it enough? Was it enough to cost her a little bit of time, or did she regain it? She visibly looks like she is charging down this track here. That must be so difficult to recover from, Sean, especially in a scary section like that. I mean, it looks scary on telly. It must be scary to ride.
Definitely. And your heart rate's already so high, and then you have a scare, and it's just through the roof. So, yeah.
The heart rate is through the roof, no doubt, but it has been enough for the moment. She's 3.2 up. So despite that small little mistake in the upper section here, she has regained her speed and composure. She drops her foot around the outside, gets a little bit offline, but she brings it back together here. She's charging. Look at the visible speed difference through the Oakley Rock Garden. Barely needs to pedal into that up a bit around the tree stump. Takes some good speeds, goes for the Shiana Hearn drop. Sean's onto something here. Oh, Eliana, this wild and loose style.
Wow.
Is becoming a frequent scene to be seen. She's 3.2 up at the second split. She's charging hard. She's visibly attacking this track, which is great to see. Quite the tale of being patient and powerful on this brutal course here in Val di Sole, Trentino.
I'm actually very excited right now.
Come on, Sean, give it to this. She's 6.6 seconds up on Sacha. She is charging.
Wow.
She's going to bring this home here today. It's not all over yet. She's got to make it to the finish line. 6.6 seconds is a huge gap. And you can visibly see how much she wants this. Such a strong, low riding style. Attacking every single part of this course here. She makes it through that Ella section. Goes for the outside line. Kisses one of the Val di Sole trees. Hold on to it, Eliana. Show us who's the boss here today.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, a bit of hug in the final section here. Eliana navigates her way through. You can feel the arm pump in her hands at the moment, but that is not going to stop her. She's got to hold on to it to the finish line and regain that composure. We saw a wild ride from her last weekend in Leogang, and this round in Val di Sole is no different. She continues to extend her lead with a 9.5 second advantage. She's got a couple of corners to go, and they are not easy by any means.
Yes.
She comes into the finish arena. She's got 9.5 seconds up in front of an adoring Italian crowd. Launches one of the biggest drops we've seen so far.
Clean. Oh, I'm very excited, Belly, right now.
Here we go. Eliana Hulsebosch sprints across the line. Everything she's got left. Navigates the final jump. What has she got for her? She's going to claim the victory here today with an astonishing 10.7 second lead over our Sacha Earnest and Erice Van Leuven. An incredible Kiwi lockout of the podium once again. The New Zealand downhill junior women are on fire this season in some incredible scenes. Eliana Hulsebosch claims a victory here today with a 4:31. Another young Kiwi, Sacha Earnest from the Trek Factory Racing Gravity team, is in second place. And Erice Van Leuven, our 2023 Junior Downhill World Cup champion from the Comensa Lesor team, brings home third place. Svegby with an incredible run, but a huge mistake down the bottom. She should be proud of that effort to recover. Claims fourth. And Kale Cushman from the USA, apologise, I called her Teagan Heap before, but Kale Cushman is in fifth place today. Wow, some incredible scenes. Look how wild this run was, Sean, from Eliana.
She did amazing. I think, yeah, we can officially say who's the boss now, hey? First World Cup win. It must be so exciting.
Oh, so exciting. I mean, you could visibly see the aggression from her today. Do you think that was one of the key factors that got her this victory in that time gap?
I think so. And even I noticed in practice, if you weren't riding the track with urgency and aggression, you could definitely feel yourself kind of battling the track. When you just were aggressive and putting your bike where you wanted it to go, it really flowed quite well.
And being aggressive, it's so difficult, but obviously a big part of that is confidence. If you're confident, you can push and be aggressive. You go for the Shana Hearn line around the outside. That's a clear display of confidence for Eliana Hulsebosch to claim her debut World Cup win here today in Val di Sole, Trentino, Italy. What an incredible run. What a wild run.
Very wild.
What an exciting run.
Very exciting. I was on the edge of my seat, truly.
Oh, that's exactly what you want to see. We're going to hear from her right now.
Huge congrats, yeah.